Hi folks, Castle here. This is the review video for the form walking component of the Castle method. Alright, the hip shift. Hip shifting is how we keep the center of mass over the base of support during the single leg stance phase of the gait pattern. This pattern requires complex hip and lumbar spine mobility, as well as stirrup spring system and windlass mechanism functionality to produce a pain-free walking gait pattern. Okay, the hip shift crossover. This is an obvious exaggeration of the hip shift. But with this pattern, we increase our focus on hip, lumbar, and ankle mobility. We also increase the pre-tensioning aspect for stimulating crypt collagen production in the stirrup spring system and windlass mechanism of the foot and ankle. Alright, we exaggerate the arm swing pattern because the upper body actually plays as significant a role in gait kinematics as the lower body does. We're working to increase the shoulder mobility that's required for hip and shoulder counter rotation, which is one of the fundamental actions in the gait pattern. We're also stimulating the catapult effect of certain connective tissues. These are known as the anterior and posterior spring systems. They're also known as the anterior and posterior oblique slings. You heard me mention the anterior and posterior spring systems and the anterior and posterior oblique slings, and the fact that they're all combinations of both upper and lower body muscle groups. In exaggerated arms, we focus primarily on the upper body contribution. In wide track walking, we broaden the focus to include both upper and lower body. We also add an additional focus to the stirrup spring system and windlass mechanism of the foot and ankle. As you can see, this pattern has a lot going on. Alright, hip and shoulder counter rotation. The hips and shoulders are simultaneously rotating in the transverse plane, but in opposite directions.